Oh, welcome! We finally got some actual movie news for a change, ladies and gents. So good, just to talk about movies. And I actually think this stuff is really, really good. So this is a two-pronged video, because we've got a rumour and rumblings that Tobey Maguire is back as Spider-Man, but then we also have pretty much clear-cut confirmation that we're getting a Madame Web movie. So these actually roll into one another quite nicely, and as with all of these things, it's kind of like a benefit to hold your horses and, well, you know, don't look at the rumours on face value, you know? To hold your horses, see what else comes out. And that's what I did with this. So I'm quite glad I did. It's good, because I do think, like, on face value, you'd look at Tobey Maguire and go, well, why would he come back? He was notoriously difficult to work with. In fact, he outrightly refused to come back for Spider-Man 2 or Spider-Man 3. And then the only reason he did come back because the role was going to be given to someone else. And then he came back anyway. So we'll get into this. Before we do, ladies and gents, I am making a movie. It is a high-concept horror fantasy film. We've smashed the first stretch target. We're on our way to hitting the second. It's linked down below. The Thing, Vikings, Hellraiser, Norse-inspired, pseudo-reality fantasy world. Check it out. In fact, I did an update recently where I showcased the custom-made weapons. I'll leave it linked above. And if you donate $5 or more, you're actually in for a chance of winning a weapon inspired by the film, so a movie prop. So check it out, it's linked down below. Thank you all so much. Let's get into this though, right? So we'll look at this one first. This is the Tobey Maguire one, and the source isn't a very good source, mind you. Again, you know, no two ways about it. Let's just say the source isn't particularly great. It's Lords of the Long Box, which isn't a great source. However, when we then hear the other news, Madame Web, you start to go, oh yeah, it could be. Actually, it could be. And I don't hate this. I don't hate this at all. Tobey Maguire's a very interesting character. We'll get on to him being interesting in a second, because there's a movie which came out which showcased a version of him, basically. So it's claimed that Tobey Maguire will be back as Spider-Man, again, paired with director Sam Raimi. Now, that's interesting. I don't understand why Sam Raimi would be back, because he's supposedly working, well, he is working, with Marvel on Doctor Strange, but never mind. According to the Lords of the Long Box YouTube channel, Tobey Maguire will be back as Spider-Man in a live-action Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie from Sony. So it's said that the live-action Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie will give Tobey Maguire a farewell, similar to the farewell that Robert Downey Jr. received in the Avengers Endgame. Not sure why he'd need a farewell. He did it years ago and he's not really done anything since. I mean, who cares? It said... Like, I don't understand why. The flick will also be a chance for director Sam Raimi to say goodbye to the beloved version of his character. I don't think he cares that much either. Does he really? Like, again, why are we sort of amping this up as like emotional stakes? I don't really see the point. It's also said that the flick will lead to the introduction of a live-action version of Miles Morales. Yeah, cool, fine, perfect. Why not? Makes sense, right? It's worth mentioning is that Sony owns the film rights to Spider-Man, so they can do whatever they want with the character on film, but the rumour makes it sound as if Marvel Studios will be involved. Now, I guess the rumour makes it sound like that because, by and large, to do with director Sam Raimi, I mean, he is now in with Marvel. So it's interesting that he's kind of coming back and shifting between the two of them. It does sound, if this is true, it sounds as if Kevin Feige's got his hands in the pie and is manipulating things around. So, Tobey Maguire rumoured for live-action Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So here's a little bit more of a rundown, right? Sam Raimi is already back with Marvel, as he's doing Doctor Strange 2. So Raimi will stick around and direct a second multiverse movie with a live-action Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Now, the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse animated movie was a huge success, massively, massively popular. And yeah, unbelievable, really. It was very, 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 very popular. And it does have a sequel coming out in 2 years' time, which probably won't be delayed that much, to be fair. You know, none of this stuff's going to delay that, which is great to hear. Raimi directed Tobey Maguire in the 3 Spider-Man movies in the early 2000s that brought in $2.5 billion. It's such a massively profitable franchise. So, yeah, now let's look at this. So, again, you hear that news and you go, oh, really? Maybe. But Sony's Madame Web Spider-Man spin-off moves forward. Okay. So Sony is moving forward with its planned Madame Web movie, which will be a part of its Spider-Man spin-off universe. If you're doing Into the Spider-Verse, Madame Web, very, very central, very, very important to expanding the Spider-Verse. Very important. Great character as well. Can be near horrifying, almost. I tell you what, here's a piece of, it's like a mind-blowing thought for you all. Guillermo del Toro version of Madame Web. Can you imagine it? That would be epic. That would be so, so good. So anyway, let's check it out, right? Now, details for Madame Web first surfaced back in September of last year, and now it is reported veteran TV director S.J. Clarkson has signed on to develop the first female-centric movie for Sony's catalogue of Marvel Spider-Man characters via Variety. S.J. Clarkson is known for Life on Mars, Heroes, Dexter, Bates Motel, Jessica Jones, Defenders, Collateral, and Made for Love. So, a good array, good cross-section of genres there. I think he could do very, very well with this. Now, according to the article, Sony might be looking for an A-list actor to join the Madame Web movie first, and then hire a writer to develop the film around them. Perfect. Who cares? That's fine. In the comics, Madame Web is actually a mutant who has precognitive powers, and has been an ally of Spider-Man many times, and is involved with the various Spider-Woman-related characters. Again, fine. Absolutely fine. So if we click through and we go off to Variety... Okay, great. Good linking there. Good linking. Good linking. Whatever. God damn it. Right, anyway. So Madame Web will be first Sony female-centric Spider-Man spin-off. I actually really like the sound of this. I think this is epic. As I pointed out back in September, what is also interesting about the characters is that Madame Web has been involved in storylines dealing with the multiverse. So again, we go back to this. It makes sense. It absolutely makes sense. Tobey Maguire coming back. There were rumours even of Andrew Garfield, the Amazing Spider-Man universe, getting involved as well. And Miles Morales has been teased, or the Morales name has been teased in the new Tom Holland Spider-Man universe. So it makes sense, Maybe they could get him into the future almost, or another character, a Morales from another Spider-Man universe, so on and so forth. There's so many possibilities with this when you open it up. And I really like the sound of this. I don't see any issue with it at all. I say, why not? I think, like, if we're going into Tobey Maguire and going, it's all about saying goodbye and a big farewell. No one cares about that. No one is infatuated with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man character. The characterization that he did, to the point where they're going to want a Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man goodbye. No one cares, right? Literally no one cares about that. I mean, okay, maybe some people care, but barely anyone does. So I'm happy with this. I think this is good news. I don't think there's anything wrong with it at all. And as well, like a Miles Morales, yeah, absolutely fine. Like Tom Holland, it would be good if you're going to do a Miles Morales spin-off, or you're going to have Miles Morales in the same universe as Tom Holland, that would work quite well. They bounce off one another quite well. If you get a young, sort of banterish actor, that would work with Tom Holland, I think. He's got kind of the quick witticisms and stuff. Now, in addition to Madame Web as a female-centric Spider-Man spin-off flick, it was recently reported that a Jackpot movie is in the works. Basically, they're just throwing stuff at the wall, as per, this is Sony, so of course they are, and seeing what sticks. But I do think a Madame Web movie and a Spider-Verse movie will absolutely stick. We've also got confirmed, as it says down here, right, we've got Morbius releasing 2021 March, and then we've got Venom 2 releasing in June. So I think they're all going to start, like, they're going to weave little bits in, because as per some Morbius rumours anyway, there's some hints, or basically, and this is not really a spoiler, so don't worry, because it's not integral to the plot, but Morbius has an addition, like an additional scene, or a little bit with Carnage. Not as Carnage, but the Cletus Cassidy. I was trying to think, it was on the bloody tip of my head. So that makes sense. I think they're going to start to weave them together a little bit here and there. And this would be epic. This would be really, really cool. Spider-Verse movie. Sinister Six. don't really care too much about. But Spider-Verse movie I think could be great. So anyway, whatever. Love to hear your thoughts. Let me know down below in the comment section. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. Stay up to date on the world of pop culture movie news by hitting the bell notification icon. Thank you all so much. Take care.